Hi, it's Krista and Lisa.
And welcome to our channel, Farmhouse Rose Co.
And today we're making 5 super easy farmhouse Christmas ornaments. It's hard to pick a favorite, we like all of them, but leave a comment down below of which one's your favorite. So let's get started on DIY number 1. We're going to be making this set of super simple ornaments. All you're going to need for this project are some wood planks from Dollar Tree, some stickers, chalk paint, and twine. We're going to start by painting our wood planks. We're going to do one red, one white, and one green. You could also use stain or antique wax, and it would also make a really pretty ornament. We decided to go for a more festive look, but you could use stain or antique wax to go for more like a woodsy natural vibe. Now we're going to use these stickers we got from Hobby Lobby on clearance, but there's so many choices that you could use. They have a great selection at Dollar Tree, Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, any ones that you can find. We just used the ones we had on hand. Now we're going to take a roller to use to make sure our letters are straight, because trust me, I need it. Now you're going to see me using the hot glue gun on one of the letters because I accidentally pulled off the sticky part on the back of the letter, because it'd be like that sometimes. Now we're going to take these scrapbooking stickers that we had in our stash from a long time ago, and we're going to add them to our sign. Now we're going to work on the green sign. We're going to use Noel. It's from the same scrapbooking stickers that we use for the other sign, and we're going to add a tree to that as well. Now we're going to work on the red sign. We're going to use these scrapbooking stickers, and we're going to put Merry Christmas with the sleigh and reindeer in between them. You can kind of see me playing around and trying to decide what design I wanted to do, put some trees and different things there, but then we decided to go with the Merry Christmas with the sleigh and the reindeer. We decided to go back to the green sign and rearrange Noel in the tree, and we wanted to add a reindeer above the N in a diagonal angle. Now we're going to create a hanger by taking some twine and tying knots on each side, and we're going to glue it onto the back of the sign. We just love how our ornaments turned out. They're a perfect addition to our Christmas tree. Now we're going to work on DIY number 2, which is a super easy snowman sign. The supplies that we use for this DIY includes a wood plaque from Walmart, some wood tint, chalk paint, twine, and a stencil that we had in our craft stash. We're going to start by taking the sticker off of our sign, which by the way did not want to come off, but you could also use like a blow dryer or something because it helps the glue like release from the sign, and then it's easier to get the sticker off. And then I just removed the staple. I tried using the staple remover, but I ended up having to use the wire cutters to kind of wiggle it out and then use the staple remover to get the rest of the staple out. And then I just used a piece of sandpaper on the spot where the staple was to create a smoother surface. Now we're going to stain our sign. We really like how the white looked against the stained wood. Our stencil is self-adhesive, so once we decided where we wanted to place it, we went ahead and peeled our stencil off of the plastic and stuck it right onto the sign and used a dabber and white chalk paint to stencil the design onto the wood. Once we have our stencil where we want it, we'll just go ahead and peel our stencil off of our plaque. Now we're going to add some greenery to our sign. We got these on sale at Joann's, but they also have a great selection at Walmart and Dollar Tree. Now we're going to add some of these frosted berries that we got from Dollar Tree. Now we're going to use our twine to create a shoestring bow to put in front of our greenery. We have these mini pine cones that we got on sale at Hobby Lobby, and we're going to add them to our greenery and put our bow in between them. We felt like we needed something in between the pine cones, so we took one of these white vase fillers from Dollar Tree. We thought it kind of looked like a snowball. And here's how our sign turned out. We think it's super cute for how simple it was to make. It would be a great addition. You could add it to any shelf. You could put a hanger on it, hang it on your tree, or anywhere. So DIY number 3 is a joy sign, and it's part 1 because we made 2 different joy signs in 2 different styles. The supplies we used for this DIY includes a canvas and dowel rod from Dollar Tree, some letters from Walmart, some truffle and white chalk paint, and some twine. So I began by taking the canvas off and we just used the frame. I didn't remove any of the staples from it because we ended up painting over it anyway, and we only used the front of the sign. We're going to start by painting the frame with some white chalk paint. Now we're going to distress our frame using Mineral by Waverly. We decided to go with a lighter color so it was more subtle. Now we're going to use our miter box to cut our dowel rod into 4 different pieces. I kind of use like the dowel rod in between the letters and the frame to see what size they needed to be. We kind of staggered the letters to give it kind of a cool look. Once we got our dowel rods to the size we wanted, we went ahead and painted them with Truffle by Waverly. Once we lined our dowel rods up where we wanted them, we're going to go ahead and glue them into place. One important thing to note is when you're gluing the dowel rods onto the frame and onto the letters is to make sure you hold on to them for a few seconds so the hot glue can set up. Now we're going to take some twine and wrap it around our dowel rods to create a more festive look. We just love how this DIY turned out. It has a really rustic and neutral vibe. DIY number 4 is our second joy sign. The supplies we used for this sign includes a tag sign from Dollar Tree, some stencils, some letters from Walmart, some chalk paint, ribbon, and a dabber. We're going to begin by applying 1 coat of ink by Waverly to our sign. While our sign is drying, we're going to paint our letters with some blue chalk paint. We're going to distress our sign using some white chalk paint to make it look frosty and also look like a chalkboard. Now we're going to distress our letters using the white chalk paint. Now we're going to use a stencil to create snowflakes on our sign. We're going to do 3 different size snowflakes and stagger them. Once our snowflakes have dried, we're going to go ahead and glue our letters onto the sign. Now we're going to add some ribbon to our sign. We're going to go ahead and take our ribbon and poke it through the hole that's already in the sign and feed it through using like a small dowel rod or anything that you can kind of help feed it. And then we're going to tie it. We just love how our DIY turned out. It kind of gives you a modern farmhousey chalkboard tag feel, but also has the snowflakes in there, and it's very wintry, so you could use it for winter and Christmas. DIY number 5 is a farmhousey Santa sign. The supplies that we used for this sign includes a Santa sign from Dollar Tree, some reflective stickers from Dollar Tree. We didn't end up using the fuzzy mop head because it was super messy, so we used felt instead. And then we used some chalk paint, a little like Easter egg that we cut for his nose, and then we used some greenery. We started by taking some felt, and we used the sign as a template and kind of traced around the sign and like cut the felt to the shape of his beard. We have the face, his beard, his mustache, and his eyebrows cut out from the felt. And then we have his nose that we took a cardboard Easter egg and we cut it to create the shape of his nose. And then we began gluing the pieces of felt on to the sign to create his face. To make his nose look rosy, we just took a little bit of red chalk paint, white chalk paint, and some mineral chalk paint, and then we just mixed it together on a paper towel, and then we painted his nose. You definitely want to make sure that you dry brush the paint onto his nose. Now we're going to take some of our reflective dot stickers and we're going to use the blue ones, and I took a Sharpie and then I created a little circle to make his pupils. To create his mouth, all I did was put his mustache down so you could see the part that was going to be visible, and I just took the Sharpie and I filled in that space, and then I used the same chalk paint we used for the nose to create his lip. And then I just glued on his nose and his mustache. So here you're gonna see that I already glued his mustache onto his nose, and I realized that it was up too high, so I pulled the piece of felt mustache off of his nose, and then I ended up pulling some of the paint off, so I had to go back in and fix it to make sure it looked right. Now we're going to work on his hat. We're going to go ahead and take our red plaid fabric and we're going to set it down onto our sign, and then we're going to cut around it until we get the shape of our hat. And don't worry about the hat being perfect, because we're going to go back in later with some black chalk paint and distress the hat. So we're just going to go ahead and glue our hat into place. You want to glue this slowly. You're going to start by going one end, putting a little glue, making sure you get any wrinkles out, and then you're going to keep repeating that process until it's glued into place. We're going to take a piece of our white felt and we're going to go ahead and cut out a circle. Feel free to use like any sort of like template you need to create the circle shape, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Here I'm just trimming off any excess fabric. I like to make it bigger than what the shape is, so it's not too small. Now we're going to distress the edges of the hat with some black chalk paint. We're going to create the brim of his hat by taking a piece of felt and we're going to glue it and fold it in on itself, and then we're going to glue another piece that's not as wide and we're going to fold that in, and it makes the hat look more 3D. And don't cut off any of the excess on each side because we're going to wrap it around and glue it into place. Now I'm going to glue his eyebrows on. I realize I should have done this earlier, but it'd be like that. Now we're going to add some embellishments. Feel free to use any greenery you would like. We got these floral picks from Joann's. They were on sale. And we're just going to go ahead and create a spot to put them. So like inside like the brim of his hat. Like you see what I'm doing here. And then we're going to go ahead and glue our picks into place. We decided to use these like frosted ones with berries and then add some mini pine cones to them. We really love how our Farmhouse Santa sign turned out. We think he's the perfect addition to any Christmas decor, and he's totally customizable just like any of these DIYs on here. That's one of our favorite things about making DIYs or crafts and stuff, is that they're very customizable and you can make them to fit your own style or needs for your decor. And it's very nice because it kind of brings people together as well. If you enjoyed our video, make sure to give this video a like, leave a comment down below which DIY was your favorite, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. We'll have our Farmhouse Christmas DIYs playlist linked down below and also in the cards if you want to watch more videos like this one. Check out our Facebook and Instagram for more DIY and decor inspiration. Talk to you guys next time. Bye for now. Happy holidays.